One of the things I've noticed about Christian community in general is that in an attempt to be humble, we downplay our skill sets, we downplay our abilities, we downplay God's ability because we don't want to be seen as overexalting ourselves. But humility is quite a profound thing when you understand it. Humility is less about an assessment of ourselves and more about how God assesses you. And when you begin to understand that humility rightly recognizes what God thinks of you, which is profound and humbling in and of itself, which is something that is entirely based upon the kindness and the grace of God, you realize that actually genuine humility looks like recognizing who I am in God and wanting to work that out because of the sense of incredible worship that you want to bring to God through your life. Because He treats us better than we deserve. He sees us better than we deserve. In fact, He sees us through the lens of Christ. And when you begin to understand that, there's this underlying thread of incredible grace that then empowers us to partner with God in His sovereignty. I love that God is never ever about simply making us do something. He invites us to partner with Him. That's what genuine sovereignty looks like. In that God could force us to do something, but He in a sense contains who He is as the all-powerful God to say, I value love and relationship with you. Do you want to partner with me? And that's the bit that I think is amazing, because God then infuses into us His Holy Spirit so we begin to dream with Him, we begin to think like Him, we begin to have an opportunity, according to 1 Corinthians chapter 2, to begin to discover the mind, the will, and emotions of God. Now, that's a beautiful thing because we begin to step into a moment in our relating with God where He says, hey, what are you dreaming about? And we go, hey, what are you dreaming about, God? And somehow we meet in the middle where we begin to dream together. I think that's wonderfully illustrated in the life of David, right? And David builds this amazing house for God. And there's no real directive from God for him to build a temple, for him to build a house for God. He just simply builds a house for himself. In that context of building a house for himself, he gets this kind of revelation. I also want to build a house for God. And God goes, great, I'll bless that dream. And the next minute, a generation later, you've got this massive temple that David built off an idea out of his relationship with God, out of his sense of worship to God, that he recognized what God had made him to be, with incredible wealth, and at the time in Israel's history, the wealthiest king that had ever been. And he goes, now I need to do something for God. And there's this beautiful interchange of God fulfilling his dream, and he then going, God, I want to build you something. And this partnership breaks out of that. I think that when you dream big, you live in a context of looking like your Heavenly Papa.